Most conquerors take land, but David took the very symbols of his enemy's pride. In chapter 18, we see David capturing shields of solid gold from the servants of Hadadezer. But here's the twist. David didn't keep them to decorate his own palace or bolster his ego. He took the ultimate symbols of pagan wealth and immediately dedicated them. It's a story of how the world's greatest treasures become footnotes when they enter the service of the divine. The story of God's people often unfolds in surprising places. We find it not just in grand prophecies, but in the dusty records of ancient kings. The 18th chapter of 1st Chronicles is one such place. It is a short chapter, easily overlooked, filled with lists of names and battles. Yet within this brief account of King David's military campaigns, we discover a powerful story. It is a story about a king chosen by God who fights on behalf of his people and establishes a kingdom of peace and security. This chapter on the surface is about earthly power and political maneuvering. David, now settled as king over all Israel, begins to expand and secure the borders of his nation, just as God had intended for him to do. The chapter reads like a rapid-fire report from the front lines of ancient warfare. David goes to war and he is consistently victorious. First, he subdues the Philistines, a persistent and troublesome enemy who had plagued Israel for generations. He takes from them the city of Gath and its surrounding villages, a significant blow to their power. Then he turns his attention eastward and defeats Moab. He made the Moabites his subjects, bringing tribute back to Jerusalem. These are not random skirmishes, they are calculated and decisive actions. David is not merely defending his territory. He is actively establishing his rule, bringing his enemies under his authority, creating a buffer of security for a people who had known so much conflict. The conquests continue, each one adding to the strength and stability of David's kingdom. He marches north to confront Hadadezer, king of Zobah, a power whose reach stretched towards the Euphrates. David's victory is overwhelming: chariots, horsemen, and foot soldiers. Even when Damascus aids him, David defeats them, places garrisons, and receives tribute. With victory comes the spoils of war. The chapter details what David does with the immense wealth he acquires. From Hadadezer he takes great quantities of bronze. He captures gold shields and brings them to Jerusalem. This is not about personal enrichment. These materials are dedicated to a higher purpose, set aside for the temple, God's dwelling among his people. David the warrior also provides for the house of the Lord. News of victory spreads. Too, of Hamath, enemy to Hadadezer, hears of David. He sends his son to bless David. Ancient diplomacy at work. Gifts of gold, silver, and bronze swell Jerusalem's treasury. David dedicates them to the Lord, along with all he had taken. He knows his success is not his own. The wealth ultimately belongs to God. Joab commander, Jehoshaphat recorder, Zadok and Ahimelech priests, Shavsha secretary, Benaiah over the Cherethites and Pelethites. This is a stable, well-ordered government, and the Lord gave David victory everywhere he went. This is the key that unlocks everything, not genius nor might, but God working through him. When we read David, we see a pattern, a shadow of something greater. David is the king who wins battles for his people. Israel could not defeat these enemies on their own. They needed a champion, a representative. David was that champion. His victories brought security and freedom. This representative champion points directly to Jesus. Our enemies are sin, evil, and death. Jesus faces them head-on. The great king goes to battle on our behalf to win a victory we could never win. David's victories were physical and temporary. Jesus' victory is spiritual and eternal. His resurrection declared the decisive blow. He defeated our enemies completely. Not a fragile ceasefire, but unshakable peace. David's wins echo the ultimate victory of Jesus. He opens the way to God's kingdom. The conquering king saves all people and reigns forever. The Lord gave David victory everywhere he went. His success was not his own strength or cleverness, it was God's gift. David was anointed, chosen, empowered, a king dependent on God. Jesus said, "I can do nothing on my own, only what I see my Father doing." His power, like David's, flowed from the Father, yet perfectly. God promised David a name, a house, a throne, a dynasty pointing to an endless kingdom. The New Testament opens, Jesus, son of David. The Lord God will give him the throne of his father David. His kingdom will have no end. Jesus is the perfect king from David's line. David establishes peace, order, and justice, a golden age yet fragile and brief. Jesus brings deeper peace, wholeness, and reconciliation with God. A kingdom where there is no more death, mourning, crying, or pain. So 1 Chronicles 18 paints a king who foreshadows a greater king. David points us forward to the greater David. In Jesus we find the true king who wins the final victory, who fulfills God's promises and establishes a kingdom of perfect peace forever and ever. Are you ready for the next chapter? Just click here to go straight to it.